Hello, Nick family. Welcome to Dope Soul Sports Talk, a member of the MBK Network. Today we are talking the draft. The draft starts Thursday, 6 p.m. The Knicks are rumored to be players in the draft. In free agency yet again. So I'm here with resident panelists Jarrell and Stafford Dawn to break it down. How you guys feeling?
Feeling good, feeling good. We got 2 days left. I'm excited, especially with the rumors that's swirling around today. So we got a lot to talk about.
We do.
Yeah,
We do.
yeah, same here, man. I'm very curious to see what Mr. Lee and Rose and Mr. Wesley cook up. So
Yep.
I'm
Well,
I'm, I'm ready.
all right. Well, let's get right into it. Let's start with a general question. Given the past, I don't know if you want to call them failures, that might be a strong word, but given the past failures of the front office to sign significant players in free agency, how confident are you that we'll be able to do that come Thursday? And I say that I know this wasn't the same front office, but if you
Right.
remember a few years ago after the Porzingis trade, we had cap space. Thoughts that we would get Kyrie, KD didn't happen. Last season, we had cap space. Were we going to sign Lonzo Ball? Were we going to sign um, what's the guy DeMar DeRozan? There
Right.
were other guys out there. We pretty much brought back Noel. We brought back Rose. We brought back Burks, and then we signed Evan Fournier and Kimber Walker. So whenever we've had cap space, and we don't have a lot. We have 18 million with, if we make some moves, we can probably get it up to 28 million. Everyone's thinking that we're going to sign Brunson. I don't know. I just feel like we've been in this position. I can't tell you how many times and come away disappointed. So,
Right.
the general question before we get into specifics, how confident are you that in this offseason, this free agency, the New York Knicks front office is going to kill it?
Well, we Knicks fans, so we only could be but so confident. We just throw that out there. Like our PSD is not going to let us, you know, be too optimistic about this. I know a lot of people want Brunson. I think it's the optimism or the lack thereof that actually shows a lot of people I've seen on Twitter that don't want Brunson. Like we have a better alternative or something. Like they just want to run it back with quickly at the PG or something.
Mhm.
So, do I feel confident? Yes, but if we don't get him, will I be surprised? No.
Okay. All right, Staffer.
I mean, is it just Brunson or just anything in free agency?
Well, just how confident are you that the front office is going to deliver this offseason?
My God, I'm gonna have to go with a 7, man. I can't. Yeah, you know,
That's a little
yeah,
higher than me. I was more like a 5.
yeah. I'm gonna go a little 7. You know what I mean? I have to give him a little hope.
Okay.
Gerard, just a little 2 bars, just to keep
Okay.
it level. But man, I'm at a 7 right now. It's like I'm optimistic. It's like I have a feeling they're gonna do something, but yet still I remember the bad failures. So it's like I'm kind of in between, but I'm leaning towards yes. I'm pretty let me not say pretty confident. Let me just say confident,
Right.
because I don't want to make it overwhelming.
Oh,
So that's where I'm at. I'm at a 7, but it's like a quiet, not too loud, confident, but
mhm.
confident.
Hey man, look, people. I was telling you about the optimism or lack thereof. People in the comments got like 4s and 3s. We working with right now.
Right.
Salute to
Right.
David and David G and JJ. They got 4 and 3. That's
Yeah.
crazy. Like
Wow.
that mean
Yeah.
they really don't expect Jalen Brunson to get here, or not even Jalen Brunson, us to do anything relevant.
Right. Right. I mean, listen, I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm cautiously optimistic that they're gonna. I'm not sure what the plan is. I'm not sure if the plan is just Brunson, and we'll talk about that a little more too. I'm hearing both Brunson and Murray. That would be great. But I'm cautiously optimistic that we're going to get something done this offseason that we like. We've gotten things done in the offseason that we didn't particularly like too much.
Mm,
I think we're going to get something done this season that we like, right? So that being said, let's move right into Brunson. Jarrell, to your point, there's a lot of fan base that don't like him. We've talked about Brunson a lot, but it's closer now, right?
right,
The Knicks have cleared cap space. They might do a sign and trade, but they don't have to. And that puts pressure on Dallas that we can actually sign him without their help. That they
right.
can actually lose him um, for nothing. So it might end up being a sign and trade. We'll see. We talked about this a bit on the Queen's Court. Where are you with the fan base? And chat chime in now if you don't want Brunson, exactly why. I'll just go first really quick. I get it. I don't think Brunson is a superstar. I get where the fan base is coming from in that respect. Like, we need a superstar. Brunson is not it. I
Mm,
don't know if I agree with we're spending all this money, on Brunson. I think that's probably the going rate for a solid point guard,
right,
right? Um, but I agree. Brunson is just a piece, but we still need the piece. It's not going to stop us from needing a star. You're going to need that if you ever want to be in championship contention. But he does so much for our team, especially the way it's currently constructed. I think it would be a good signing. But I agree with the fan base. We have to do more. Like, that's just not going to be enough.
yeah, it's definitely not enough. Like I don't understand why people think we like signing Jason Kidd or somebody. Like
Mhm.
that's not who he's coming in to be. Like he's not going to be the number one guy, not on a championship team.
Right,
Like you get him as a piece. But one thing I disagree with the fans that he's not worth $25 million.
right,
He's going to get like say if the Knicks don't give him that or even more, he's definitely going to sign somewhere else for that money if it's not Dallas. I'm
right,
pretty sure somebody else want him too. Like he's going to be a hot commodity. We're not the
right,
only team that's after him. And $25 million is not like it used to be. Like that's the
right,
going rate for a starting point guard in the NBA these days. Like
right,
that's the type of money he should be making. Like
right,
he wouldn't, especially with the type of run that he had this year. Like he shouldn't ask for anything less. Like he would be crazy. Like he won. Like that's just the going rate for a point guard right now. Like $25 million is not a lot of money.
right. And let me ask this question: when we look at the Boston Celtics, they got Jalen Brown, they got Tatum. Those are their stars. But you can argue that the ascension that they took had a lot to do with Marcus Smart being
Hmm.
put in that starting lineup, right? Being able to defend other point guards at the point of attack, being
Right.
able to hit the 3-point shot. So you can look at Marcus Smart and be like, he's not a star, and he's not. But you need those type of guys. And it
Exactly.
doesn't mean that the Knicks still don't need a star. They do. But
Right.
it's okay if you get the glue guy or the connector before you get the star. It's
Facts.
fine. That's fine. We have to build a team. And just because one player doesn't make a difference doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. Oh, we still
Right.
gonna be in the play-in if we get him. Okay. If you could bring LeBron, we might still be in the play-in.
Right.
This is the first step, of many other steps that need to be done. But a guy like
Yeah.
Brunson, just like a guy like Marcus Smart, just like a guy like Lowry, just like a guy like Van Vliet, these guys that's not very, athletic, but they're tough. They know how to play defense. They're good leaders. They're not gonna shrink in those big moments. You need those type of guys on your team,
They stay healthy too.
and they stay healthy. You need them type of guys. Now, I heard somebody, and then staff, I'll get to you as well. And this is where I disagree. Um, RJ, I hope I said it right. Um, he's not the only one that believes this. I think Brunson is a huge upgrade
Yeah,
from
that's a big
IQ,
upgrade, man.
because a lot of times you just looking at stats. I'm not looking at stats. I'm looking at leadership. I'm looking at decision making. I'm looking at somebody who dropped 41 points in a playoff game, not a triple double in the last 5 games of a season. You understand what I'm saying? 41 points in a playoff game. He averaged 21.6 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists in the playoffs.
Right.
That's another level. Now, IQ may get there. Don't get me wrong. IQ very well may get there. By the end of their careers, IQ might even be a better player than Brunson. But
Hmm.
right now, it's not even close, in my opinion. That Brunson is a better player than IQ. IQ is still trying to find his way. IQ is still trying to figure out when he should shoot or when should he get other people involved. Brunson got that
Hmm.
figured out already.
He even
Yeah,
outdid like what everybody thought he was supposed to do in the playoffs. Like
no
even
doubt about
though
it.
when Luca went out, nobody expected Jalen Brunson to play like that. So yeah, don't get me wrong. Like I like IQ too, but he's not on the same level as Jalen Brunson. Not right now.
Not right now.
He might be in the future, but right
Right,
now, no way.
right.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah. Um, Anything else you wanted to I agree, Cal Williams. Appreciate you for joining us. Brunson is a dog. Ashley Inc. won a glue guy? Question mark. I think another glue guy will be available next year. So let's see what we have with IQ and Deuce play a full season with real minutes since we are not a contender next year with Brunson. Listen, and I've said this. If you heard me on the Queen's Court, you already know how I feel about this. If you think IQ is ready, play him. But we're not putting him in just to see. This is not his private playground where we trying to see. No. If you feel he's ready, if you believe he's ready, then go with it. But we're not putting him in as an experiment just to see if he is. And then 20 games in, oh, it doesn't look. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. And if the Knicks felt he was ready, he would have been in already. If the Knicks felt he was ready, they wouldn't even be going for Brunson.
Yeah, he's a lot cheaper.
He's a lot cheaper. So apparently the Knicks don't think he's, you know, doesn't think he's ready. I have another question about Brunson, and I'm interested in what the chat has to say. Any concern about fit? And let me explain. In Dallas, so Brunson can hit the three, but
Hmm.
he's very effective in the key. Despite the
Hmm.
fact that he's not very athletic, he doesn't play above the rim. He has really good footwork and he's able to finish amongst the trees. And he has that fadeaway in the mid range as well. But he has a lot of space.
Hmm.
They're power forward. Is Finney playing a four for them?
He
But
plays the
it
four and the three.
right. He could shoot the three.
Hmm.
Their center can shoot the three.
Yep.
So there's space in the key for Brunson to operate. Any concern that he won't be as good with the Knicks because Mitch, if all indications are that we're going to re-sign him, that Mitch is down there. RJ plays below the key, though RJ can hit the three, so they will respect his shot. And Randle, I'm not sure how much respect he's gonna get. Any concern that Brunson may not be as effective on this particular team with the particular players we have because there's just not enough space for him to operate?
Stafford, you want to go ahead, bro?
Um, I believe you'll come in here and what we got 37 wins.
Hmm.
Yes.
I will probably say add probably 2.5 to that. So
Okay.
I'll say like 39.5.
Two and a half
So
wins?
yeah, yeah. I
Stafford.
mean, yeah, yeah.
I mean, when
I
you
mean,
think about how many games we lost down the stretch because we couldn't hit free throws, how many big leads we lost because we didn't have a person making great decisions and getting us in spots we needed to get in.
well, you know what? You have a point. You have a point. Okay. All right. So let me take that back. As you say that, let me take that back. So you know what?
Mhm,
It may get us to at least I'll say the probably the ninth or the eighth seed.
mhm.
Hmm.
Probably I'll say that. And I think when he come in, he will make a good impact. As you just alluded just now, he will put us in places where we need to be. direct the whole team, um, hit the big shots. You know what I mean? Calm down the team. So I think with the experience playing against us, playing with a superstar, coming into a building like Madison Square Garden, I think he's fit for it. You know what I mean? I think he's built for it also too. I think he got a tough mentality. You know what I mean? Just because, Dallas doubted him that he should have been starting and not coming off the bench the beginning of the season. So, and so at the same time he stuck it to them. So he got hard and he got chest. And you know what I mean? And he got toughness. So I think he will be a good fit. I don't see no issue with him getting in the paint. Even if they try to rush him without picking, he could always probably flip it up to Mitch, or even kick it out to RJ. Whoever we got on the wing. So I think it'll be a fantastic fit.
Yeah, and he does have a mid range. Um Aj, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. Listen, IQ can have better production. IQ can have better stats and not be a better player. He can score more points. He can grab more rebounds. He could shoot a higher percentage at 3 point, at 3 points range. It doesn't make him a better player than Brunson. And that's what it is. A lot of people are looking at points and rebounds and steals. I'm looking at decision making, playmaking, how you make the team better, not just yourself. How do you make the team better? And I don't think IQ is a selfish player by any stretch. He's still learning. His decision making still needs to come along. When should I take my shot? And when should I set the team up, given where we are at this point in the game. So it's not about production, and it's statistical production, right? And for all those who are saying, shout out to Sharon, appreciate you. Just adding Brunson to a stronger East, that will not help. The Knicks are currently the worst team in the East. The Knicks will not win 30 games next season if we sign Brunson. Listen to me. And I've heard this before. One player is not taking the Knicks to championship contention. Period.
Facts.
You bring in Donovan Mitchell next year, we're not championship contenders. So are you trying to tell me that because one player is not taking you straight to championship contention, that you shouldn't take the first step of,
Yeah, I
of,
don't
of
get it.
what's going to be many steps? Trust me, Brunson is not enough. I agree with you. But does that mean we shouldn't make the move? If we brought Donovan Mitchell in, he wouldn't be enough. Are you saying we shouldn't do that? It's one step. Pudge
One
Nice, I
piece.
appreciate you. All right, and I agree with you. Brunson is not the savior. He's just a piece.
Right.
So I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it with the Nick family. Like, if you bring Giannis on this team, all right, maybe we might make the play. But do you think Giannis makes this team a championship contender by himself with no point guard on this team?
Nope.
With no, they had to, in order for them to get into championship contention, they had to surround Giannis with shooters, which
Right.
we don't have. Everybody shooting 39, 40%. You know what I mean? So the point is, this is just one step of multiple steps the Knicks have to take. You know? So what's your thoughts on that, Staffa and Jarrell in the chat? Anybody else want to answer? If a player, and forget Brunson, it could be anybody. If a player the Knicks bring in doesn't immediately move us into championship contender or into the seventh seed, does that mean we shouldn't sign him?
Nah, that's just
No,
being
no,
short sighted.
yeah,
No way.
no, I don't agree with that. No.
Especially like even to answer your last question, kind of when it comes to his fit, like we still have Tibbs as the coach, so it's completely up to him. Like it's not
Yeah,
just up to Brunson to change everything for us.
right.
It's up to Tibbs and the rest of the coaches and the rest of the organization. So
and the players on the team too,
And the
Joe, because
players also,
they gotta make him feel comfortable too.
all the young guys that we want to play all the time need to start ascending. Like that's what they need to do in order for us to be championship contenders. It's not just Jalen Brunson. Like no, I wouldn't say nobody, but you shouldn't think that Jalen Brunson is the key to us winning a championship.
Right.
He's just the key to getting our roster right because we don't have a point guard.
Right. Real King, we need both. I don't think it's mutually exclusive. I don't think because you get Brunson that means you can't get a superstar.
A
We need both.
superstar, right?
Right.
I mean,
Because
look at Boston. They got Tatum, Brown, and a glue guy. Well,
yeah,
I think
that's what I
Smart is
don't
even
get.
more than a glue guy.
But
You
that's
can
what I don't
have
get.
two or three players. So that's what I don't get. Why it has to be either or.
All the superstars that everybody are talking about have players like this that play with them on the team.
Right.
All of them.
Right.
It's just weird, man. I don't understand.
Right.
It's kind of hard,
Open
man.
your
And
minds,
to be
people,
honest,
for real.
I think that's why a lot of people are caught up on the price too. Maybe because
Yeah,
Right.
they don't think he's like good or something. Like
Right.
$25 million is not a lot of money for a starting point guard in the NBA.
they need to go look up the salaries of starting point guard, and they'll see who's making what and who's making what.
Right.
Right. Shout out to Real King. Yeah, we got to make room for Brunson. We got to make room. Now, listen, the option for a sign and trade is still there for Brunson. Even though Dallas said that they wouldn't do it, you know, the Knicks have now opened up or at least will open up enough cap space that Dallas now has to risk losing him for nothing,
I think we
you
have
know?
18 open right now.
Right. So we have
Right.
18. We have 18 open right now. If we're able to get off Burke's contract, and I hear that um, Boston is
Boston.
interested. That's another 9 to 10 million, right? That'll get
Hmm.
us to 28. And then I hear the Clippers. I'm not sure if they still interested, but at one point was interested in Noel. If we can get off Noel, that's still another nine
I
point
heard I
something
heard
million.
Toronto I heard Toronto is interested in
Toronto
Noel.
too. I could definitely see the Clippers still getting in with Noel because they signed Zubac today, but I think Zubac is probably going to be their starter, and he's a cheap option as a starter. He's only making like 11 a year, so sliding Noel right behind him as his backup, making what he's making, it makes sense for them.
Right, right. So I think the question, Sherwin, is do the Knicks want OG Anunoby? And I think another question is at some point, DeJounte Murray, I think he has another year or two on his contract. He's going to be a max player,
Yeah,
period. So you might get 16.6 now and maybe next season, but he's going to be a max player. And there's been talk that the Knicks may even be able to get both because remember, if you sign Brunson with your cap space, you still have young players and assets that you can trade for a star. So I've been
right.
hearing talk about, you know, getting both Brunson and Murray. What's your thoughts on that? Do you think that's a good fit?
Hmm. Brunson and Murray. Oh boy, that's tough right there. I don't think I could have a. Uh, mm.
Is that frustrating, Stafford?
Yeah, man, because it's like we got 2 point guards. One could hit the three. One really can't hit the three. Two of them could defend real good. Um, but it's like I don't see who's gonna be the primary ball handler.
Positionless.
In
Positionless. Like neither one of them have. They both can be if
they
Tibbs
both
know how
can,
to run an offense right.
but I'm saying though, who is the better shooter off the ball? And that's might be my issue right there. Because we need shooters.
But Brunson
So
can
if you
shoot.
if you
Remember, he played off ball with Luca.
Right.
Mm, I wouldn't want to put him in that position, man. I rather do something like a Bronson or Bridges or a Bronson Zach Levine, a Bronson Mikal Bridges, Bronson, whoever is the other free agent. If we could get what's his name, Bradley Beal, if he doesn't sign, something like that.
Yeah,
But
Bradley Bills changes the trajectory of this team. You bringing in
I,
Bradley Bill at
Yeah, that's different.
29 years
no,
old.
no,
That's different than
I,
them
I,
two.
Mhm.
I hear you, but all of them is free agents, right? And they shooters and they superstars. So, I mean, I'm just saying though, if it's just not Bronson, I can't see Bronson and Dejounte.
Okay.
I don't like that backcourt right there. Give me a shooter or a
Hmm.
slasher or something like that to come in with it. I don't like that fit.
Okay.
That's just
But
me
do
personally.
okay, but you like the idea that the Knicks can possibly sign Brunson and somebody else with caps with
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. And I've been saying that. I don't think it's just Bronson alone. It has to be somebody else. It has to be somebody else. With all these draft picks and second rounds and cap space, it got to be something big. It got to be something big. I'm just crossing my fingers that we do something big.
right.
And just like you said earlier, something that we like. So,
Something that we like.
Dra-
Because I
right.
remember being hyped last offseason. We had like 50 something million in cap space. I was hyped. First domino to fall was Noel coming back. I said, Noel. Then Burks, and I get it. They,
Right.
the Knicks were successful. They wanted continuity after years of signing 1 and 2 year players to 1 and 2 year contracts. And then it was Fournier and Kimball Walker. So I've been disappointed before,
Hmm.
being ecstatic or happy about potential signings. Um, so NBAanalysis.net proposed a trade for Murray of Evan Fournier plus 3 first round picks, all the Knicks first round picks, 2023, 2024, 2026. For me,
So
that's nothing. But
quick.
mhm. What's your thoughts on that in chat? What's your thoughts on that? Evan Fournier and 3 first rounders for DeJounte Murray.
Yeah, I'm definitely doing that. Like, I mean,
What?
yes,
Within
that's
a
what,
second,
yes,
flash, zoom, gone.
absolutely.
Bye.
3 first round picks, like, it's quick too. Like, I really, really like Murray. And to answer the last question, to get both of them in here, if we get both of them in here, we can't complain about that. Like, us as fans, I think it'd be kind of crazy to complain about that. That's a great job by the front office to me. If we get both of them at the same time, and I would definitely will start them in our backcourt.
Wow. That's rough right there, boy. Whew.
I think the way that the NBA is now, they both can definitely start in our backcourt.
Right. Because
But
remember Luca and Brunson played together. Now, DeJounte is not as tall as Brunson, but he got excuse me, not as tall as Luca, but he got like an 8 foot wingspan. I mean,
right,
I'm
and he can play
exaggerating.
defense too.
I'm exaggerating a little bit. But what I'm saying is that he could play, players that are taller than him.
Right, so he can play the two guard on defense easily. I wouldn't have a problem with
Ah,
it at all.
boy.
The only
I
problem
don't
I
know.
have with it is that I personally just want RJ to play the two. But if him playing the three means that, then yeah, he's gonna have to play the three if
Right.
he's still here.
Ah, boy.
Yeah. I'm just saying,
Gerald.
Staff. I'm not, but I hear you. If I'm hearing you, but listen, what if it was DeJounte Murray? This is just speculation.
Uh-huh,
DeJounte
uh-huh.
Murray and Donovan Mitchell. You're still with the same issue in terms of size.
Right.
On the defensive, size on the defensive end. You still got a 6'1", a 6'4", and RJ, I believe, is six
Yeah,
six
but
six seven.
yeah, but Queen Donovan, he could shoot.
That's
He could
true.
shoot.
He can shoot. He can shoot.
He could shoot.
He can shoot. But Brunson can shoot
Yeah.
too. Brunson is shooting
Yeah,
like
but
what?
what
So
is his
I thought the
percentage
problem
from?
would be on
I'm
defense though, not on offense. So you have a problem with on offense? like what how offense will be?
Yeah, yeah. The offense, basically, yeah. That's what I'm alluding to.
Okay.
He shot
That's,
um he shot 37% from three.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
See,
respectable.
yeah.
Let me
Yeah, I'll
see.
take it. I like y'all people wilding, man. I'm definitely taking that backcourt, man. We haven't had a backcourt like that in forever. Like I don't remember.
Deshante and Bronson,
That would be
man.
nice, man. You
Yeah.
got to think
Ah,
about the
boy.
backcourts that we're going up against in the East too. Like they were just talking about Murray going to the Hawks for that same lineup with him and Trey. So
Right.
yeah, if they can do it, yes, we can do that with Brunson and the rest of the people on our
Yeah,
roster.
but you alluded again, bro. Lil Meek could shoot. Trey could shoot. I mean, if Trey play off the ball, he is sniping it from three, and he is shooting from the logo.
Staffer.
Brunson not shooting from the logo.
Staffer.
Yes, ma'am.
Brunson shot better from three than Donovan Mitchell.
How much is Donovan shooting?
35.5%.
Oh, wow.
This is
See,
volume.
Yeah.
that's even crazy.
Last season in the bubble, where not in the bubble, but was that it wasn't in the bubble, but last season when there weren't fans and everybody shot a little better. So
Yeah.
Donovan shot 38%, but prior to that, 36%, 36%. His first season, 34%. Last year, 35%. So if we're talking about shooting, Brunson shoots better than him from three. Now his effective field goal percentage is 53.3%. And Brunson's effective is 54.9. Brunson is very efficient.
Yeah.
He not gonna be so his effective free throw percentage is better than Donovan Mitchell. His 3-point shooting is better than Donovan Mitchell. But
Right.
I'm not gonna sit here and say he's a better player than Donovan Mitchell. Like
Right,
Donovan
right,
Mitchell,
right, right, right.
you
No,
No,
know,
we
no,
get
no.
you. We get you. We get
you
you. We
know,
get you.
yeah. But
We
Brunson can
get
shoot
you.
the ball and he's efficient. And by that meaning he don't need to take 50,000 shots to get 20 points.
Right. And that's exactly the type of point guard we need on this roster.
Right. Right.
Well,
Especially
you
with
know
the
what,
people that shoot
Gerald?
free throws and not shooting all around. Like we need somebody like that.
No, well, Thibodeau will have to show me some magic if we do get. Listen, I'm not mad if we do get them, but Thibodeau gonna have some work to do with this offense with both of them.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying as far as the
Right.
offense.
Right.
Man,
You know what I
But
mean?
Tibbs
Because
used
I
to
need to
play.
see that. I need to see that.
Tibbs used to play Derrick Rose and like Kurt Heinrich in the same backcourt. If he can do that, he can play Brunson and Murray.
right. But I will say that I would love in a perfect world the Dejounte Murray and Donovan Mitchell, right? Because Donovan Mitchell has defensive flaws that the Dejounte could, can cover up. But
Yeah, that's
Bru- and Brunson and Donovan Mitchell is kind of small. But we need a player like Donovan. Like you need a player that can get his own shot. You need a
hmm
player that down the stretch you can just throw the ball to them and say we need a bucket. I don't. Brunson may or may not be that guy. He doesn't. I don't know if he's how much experience he's had doing that, and I don't think Dejounte is that guy because he can't. I mean, I think he has to get better at shot creation
hmm.
for
I
sure.
love it, man. We'll see.
Somebody had a question for me for the panel, so let me pull that up. Panel, please answer this question. If Brunson is that much of a game changer, why are the Knicks the only team throwing money at him? I mean, how many teams need a point guard as desperately as
Right,
the Knicks need? How many teams have that connection with Brunson like the Knicks have?
right.
So Detroit doesn't need a point guard. Um, I think
Cleveland don't need one.
right,
Like we're
but
one of the few teams that need a point guard and haven't had one in like a decade.
there's somebody else as well who the
I know
Pelicans.
Boston.
I
I
can
think
see the
Boston need
Pelicans.
one.
The
They
Pelicans need a point guard, and there was somebody else as
they just
well.
drafted Daniels too.
Right. And they just drafted Daniels. Right. Right. So um I think the Knicks are I don't even know if it's throwing money at. I mean, I think that's the other thing, that the fan base is so like 25 million in this landscape, is that
That's the
really a
going
lot of
rate.
money for a point guard? For a starting point guard?
And a point guard to come here.
You got to play a premium for them to come play
Yeah.
here.
We haven't had a point guard since Raymond Felton.
Hmm.
Right.
One that could dribble the ball up the court.
Right.
So yes, like if he can, he's worth $25 million. Period. Easy
Right.
to come
Right.
here.
Right.
I think Van Fleet is making like 21 point something million or something like that.
Yeah,
And
no, no doubt.
that was the 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 market for him at the time. And if you
Right.
go down the line, I think the highest point guard right now is Shane Gilchrist. I think it is. I think
Oh,
he's getting
wow.
like I think he's getting
Is,
like 30 something or something like that.
is this true? 19 million in salary just acquired Burks and Noel to Detroit.
I don't know.
Hold on, I gotta check that. Let me
Gotta
fact
check
check
the
that.
Twitters, man.
Yeah.
We on the
Somebody else
show.
said the same thing.
I'm on the show. I'm pretty sure. Oh yes, that is true. Woj just put the Knicks are trading center Nerlens Noel and guard Alec Burks to the Pistons. Knicks just unloaded $19 million more to clear in the cap space. So if we had 18 before and have 19 now, yeah, they're attempting something big. It's not just Jalen Brunson
I
either.
don't That's what I was about to say. I don't think it's just um Jalen Brunson. Brunson, who do you think who would you like them to go after? Which two players would you like to see next season? Whether that's signing them in free agency or trading. Because remember, we still have young players as assets. We still have draft picks as assets.
Well, I think you heard some of my dreams just now. The Bronson Bridges brothers, Mikhail or Miles, Zach Levine. Who else is on the free agent market that I think that could help us? I mean, uh,
Everybody.
I'm about to say, name somebody that can't help us, staff. Like, I think people really don't understand how this roster is, man. Like we're not in trouble, but yeah, we need help, man. We need talent,
Right. So James Harden, I think he resigns with Philadelphia.
of course.
John Wall, rumors are that he's going to the Clippers.
Hmm.
Clippers. Hmm.
Bradley Bill, I'm hearing that he's opting out to re-sign with Washington.
Hmm.
Uh, Zach Levine, Ricky Rubio. I'm trying to look and see if there's any big names out there.
The Bra-
Aiton is restricted.
Bradley Bill one still surprising me that they drafted Johnny Davis, but about to re-sign Bradley Bill. Somebody would like to. I need that to make sense.
Right,
Like I don't really get that, but that's they the Wizards. So
right. What about Montrezl Harrell is out there? Um,
Now he in some legal
Marvin
trouble
back.
right now.
no, not about to say not him.
Marvin Bagley the third is out there.
No way.
Um,
Mm-mm.
would you so if we're not able to get DeJounte, if we're not able to get Brunson, would you see Tyrus Jones as a starter, or he would still be like a backup quality point guard?
For me, he'll
Wow.
be backup.
Okay.
Hmm.
Like for me, that's when we'll be talking about like is if he's better than like Emmanuel quickly coming off the bench if he's going to be our backup point guard. So yeah, I don't get me wrong. If we get Jones, he probably still start over IQ, especially if we started Burks last year.
Right.
So, but I still view him like long run. I don't view him as a starting point guard in the league now. Like he's not getting 25.
Right. No, 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 no,
No,
no, no, no.
like it's not. They're not the same at all.
All right. So let's talk a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about Schroeder, who's out there, Colin Sexton, who's out there. I'm looking at the free agent list of players that Kevin Knox is out there. Um,
why you all
why
laugh
you
when you
starting
say
trouble?
it? Ah.
So if the Knicks clear cap space, well, the Knicks has now cleared cap space. Um, and I'm starting to think that it might be more than Brunson. So you can sign a free agent and get Brunson in a sign and trade, or vice versa. Sign Brunson and trade for somebody else in assets. In a perfect world for me, we coming back with DeJounte and Donovan Mitchell. In a perfect world,
What?
for me.
DeJounte and Donovan.
I like
That
Brunson,
would.
but
I like that. I
Murray
like that.
Murray is I
Wait a
Murray
second.
is plan A for me if we're able to get him. Brunson is plan B.
I
So
like that.
if we coming out of there with DeJounte Murray who can guard that one position, guard those point guards on defense, and then you have, Donovan Mitchell who, you know, can score and do what he does and has the tools to play defense, right? So if you have a coach that hold him accountable, he'll probably be better on that end. But those are my two now. The John, I don't think
That would be
Donovan
sweet.
Mitchell is available. You know, um, that's my two. I'm interested in
You didn't hear
what the
Jarrell
chat,
too. Mm-hmm.
I guess
what,
like we already talked about it. Probably because I'm trying to think realistically because I don't think like we're going to get somebody like Zach Levine or Donovan Mitchell. I think that's thinking, you know, I don't want to overstep. So
right?
to me, it is like the most realistic and what they've been talking about in the rumors. I like Brunson and Murray. Like I think they'd be a
You
good
like
backcourt.
Brunson and Murray? Okay,
Like if we
Okay.
get them and it's actually realistic and we come out with both of those and after this is over, I'm good. Like I'm straight.
right. And I think that's realistic. I don't think Donovan Mitchell, as far as I know, I haven't heard any rumors of him being available. Um, what about
Not that.
Would you be okay with Brunson and Bradley Bill? Would you be okay with DeJounte Murray and Bradley Bill?
Oh yeah, I would.
Give me that. Give
Yeah,
me
I
that.
would also.
I would love that too. Give me that. Oh yeah. Hmm.
Kevin Bergen, shout out to you. I was thinking that like it's gonna be somebody just out of the blue that we haven't thought about
You mean for a trade or a free agent? Because when it comes to
for a
free
trade.
agency, yeah, okay. Because yeah, when it comes to trades, yeah, it could be anybody. You never know who's
Right,
available until
right,
they're available.
right,
So
right.
unless they, somebody leak it or whatever.
Hmm. I wonder who that could be. That's very interesting though. Somebody that we wouldn't even think that we would get. Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
but the thing about it is you don't know who's available. Like I never thought DeJounte Murray
No,
would
well, I'm
be available.
Right. I wouldn't have
well
thought that either.
at the same time, I'm trying to figure out who is miserable in their situation. You
Who's
know what I'm
miserable in their
saying?
situation?
You know.
Ah, that's funny. Who's miserable? I don't know. Except for us? Hmm.
Right, right.
I'm, because let me see, because I'm trying to scan down the whole league in my mind to be like, just a superstar or even a star.
Well, that was some breaking news actually that the Knicks were able to open up more cap space.
Yep.
So that kind of threw the whole show for a loop. Like
I, and
now
I
it's like different questions.
and I
Jordan
told
Poole would be a surprise. As somebody said
Whoa.
in the chat, if it's somebody that the Knicks that we haven't heard of. Um,
I,
yeah,
I
That would
don't think
be that would be
that would
nice.
be nice, but I don't think Golden State giving up Poole. I don't think Poole will want to leave that situation.
and they can go over the cap
Right.
Exactly, just resign
to
him.
sign him.
And they don't care about going over the cap over there at all.
Rose is next. Listen. If Rose is gone, I wouldn't mind having Tyus, is it Tyus
Tyus
Jones
Tyus
Jones
Jones.
as a
as a
backup?
backup. Yeah,
I
Oh, so you
mean,
getting quickly all the way out of here then?
well, I see quickly playing,
off ball.
I meant
more
as
off
Yeah.
ball.
I meant as a point guard, not
Oh,
like off
Oh,
the team. Bad
yeah.
choice of words. I meant like as a point guard because everybody think of him as trying to be our next point guard.
Can you imagine Jalen Brunson or DeJounte Murray being backed up by Tyus Jones? Like that, you didn't just
Right,
improve your point guard
right.
positioning;
You made
you
it a
locked
strength.
it down.
Yeah, you made it a strength for like multiple
f-
years too.
I mean, this is a
facts.
guy who assist to turnover ratio is like one of the best. He had, I think it was 102 assists to 9 turnovers.
Right.
In the 20, I think it was 26 games he played without um John Morant, they were 20, I want to say 22-4.
Hmm.
I mean, that's a strong back with no injury concerns. I love Rose. He's one of my favorite players on the team, but I think it's just time.
But listen, if Memphis let him go, boy, I'm telling
I think so. They
you,
he's
they
unrestricted,
would be stupid to do that. He better match whatever offer. But at the same time, if we get him, I would love it too.
right? He's unrestricted though. So they can go
Mm,
over the cap to sign him, but they drafted the point guard from Tennessee, Chandler. Is it
Yeah,
Kennedy Chandler or Chandler Kennedy?
Kennedy
Uh,
Chandler. Yeah,
Kenneth, yeah. Um, I don't know if a rookie would be ready right now to back up Jado.
yeah. But I
Um,
kind of figured since they did get him, then yeah, he's leaving because he's probably gonna get paid
mm.
a lot more than what he's getting paid now.
Nick D, you might be right,
Bang bang. Yeah, Deuce
but
is dead.
you
Yeah,
you
that'd be
you
over.
you might be right, but it happens all the time where teams draft over positions that they already have and bring in and trade for players in positions where they already have players there, right? I don't think the Knicks are in a Tyrus has been in the league for 7 years. He's gonna beat Deuce out.
Yes.
He's gonna beat Deuce out. So are you saying, and I'll ask this to the
Just by
panel,
merit.
yeah, I'll ask this to the panel and I'll ask to the chat as well. Do you believe in not bringing in players that are better than the players that you have?
Oh yeah, of course. You have to in order to get better. I mean, you got to think about it. We didn't draft, but we just signed Juan Montero. Like that
Right,
could kill Deuce off quick too. I don't know if everybody
right,
know how good he is.
right.
It's possible that he can beat out Deuce, and he's not even on the roster. So, yeah, I think the best players should play, and we need talent on this roster in order to move forward. Period.
No,
And
no,
competition is very good too. You know what I mean? Competition brings out the best in each player. So if I bring in a better player than me, I'm looking to strive to beat him out. So I'm trying to play the best and practice the best and do my best, and that will bring out the best in the team. And you never know where the team could go that year just by healthy competition, inside the locker room. So yeah, that would be that's great right there. I don't see nothing wrong with that.
right. Now let me read this. Now, do we think there's a limit on how much money to offer? Okay, so this is Adrian Wojnarowski. The Knicks have cleared 30 million in salary cap space to offer Dallas Jalen Brunson in the neighborhood of a max contract. Now I like Brunson. I get what he's going to bring to the Knicks, something we haven't had. He's a leader, he's a winner, he's efficient, he can operate in the lane, he can hit the 3-point shot, yada yada yada. A max contract
Yeah, that's a
or
different conversation.
a near max contract?
Yeah, that's a different conversation. I say he was worth 25. I didn't say he was worth 35.
Right. But
Yeah,
but
Nah,
that's not the that's a different that's a different convo.
Yeah, I think like somebody said in the chat, I forgot who it was. I think the Knicks are trying to do something big, and I wouldn't be surprised if we sign two significant players in free agency, probably one outright and another one through a
Hmm.
via
trade.
trade. Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah, but I heard it was probably 110 million.
Right,
So it could be around 26, 27. But
right,
you talking in the 30s? Nah.
Yeah, that's
He
different.
mm-mm. Yeah, that's a total different conversation right there. That's not he hasn't made an all-star game. He's not a perennial all-star. What has he done to earn that type of money?
right.
One playoff game with 41 points. I think we'll just want a story when he say that. He pushing it. He
Well, I
pushing
mean,
it.
Woj is usually pretty good.
Yeah, what 35
Pudge
35? Nah.
Pudge Nice 30 million from what I understand. The Knicks have cleared 30 million. The max for Brunson that the Mavs can offer is 5 years, 175. So how much is that's that's more than 30.
I I I, I finally figured out what we got back though.
Okay.
And including Noel and Burks, we sent them two future second round picks. They don't say the years.
Okay.
They say just two future seconds and cash.
Cash
What we got back
consideration.
was a second round pick for next year for Detroit.
Mhm.
We got that back because I think we sent that
Right.
to them. I mean, yeah. We got that back, and then we got the second round from Miami for 2024
Right.
and $6 million cash. They had to make the money work.
Okay.
Paris
It
says,
working.
Stafford, you got to stop the jinx talk.
What kind of jinx? Paris, what jinx talk I talking about? Oh, man.
Wow. So,
Man, so yeah, we
le-
got breaking news on the show. That's what's up.
that's definitely what's up. I think the Knicks are going to do something bigger than Brunson. Um, I don't think they're clearing all of this cap space for Brunson.
Just for him, yeah.
I just don't. I just don't. I think they sign and trade for him because I is Dallas going to risk letting Brunson go for nothing?
Mm. Well, I guess maybe to be honest, if you have Luca,
Mhm.
not saying that that's what you're supposed to do, but I
Mhm.
guess they say they could take the hit. They still have Luca, so
I mean, they
But their
got
salary cap is
Dinwiddie too.
such. Yeah, man, the thing
Yeah.
about it is, we traded away all our vets other than Randle. I'm not even sure unless they include Randle in the sign and trade. Who else would we have? Because I don't think they're gonna want young players. That's a playoff team that went to. Did they go to the Western Conference Finals
yeah.
or yeah to the Western Conference Finals? They're not
Well,
gonna want
Queen.
young players.
Well, one person that lives in Dallas that is on our team, and everybody's itching to get
Mm-hmm.
him away. They
Mm-hmm.
attaching my name to him as like that name is my last name.
I think
So
I think it
you
depends
know
on
what I
the
mean.
young
So
player too. They might want one.
you never know. You never know.
Right, right,
They
right.
might want one young player. I think it depends on the young player. Like if we
That's
give him
true.
like Cam,
He would be. You think? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
he'll work good in Dallas. I can see that. If they
Wait,
want him, like you said, they're a winning team, but I could see them asking for at least one, and we might give it to him, especially if it is Cam, because the way we got him, like it was like a high risk, low,
right.
high
Oh,
risk,
that's
high
true.
reward. Yeah.
I appreciate you. Shout out to Ron Still Nick fans. I think they also sent Detroit back the first round pick that they traded to us.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. Hmm.
He said, He said Joe Dumars is definitely looking out for us. I'm sure they getting something back.
Joe Dumars ain't still over there. I'm saying, Joe Dumars out there. Yeah, I think Joe Dumars been out of there. I think. I could be wrong though.
Somebody had asked the panel a question, and I meant to star it so I can come back.
I didn't see it.
To
Somebody
it.
said don't forget Fournier too.
Don't
We can
forget
still
Fournier
trade
as far.
Fournier.
That's correct. That is correct. That would be.
Hmm.
I mean, I don't have a problem if Fournier is back on this team, but
Yep.
that opens up that's yeah. That
Yeah, I
would
think
be
that's a little
significant.
different. It's harder moving him than
Right.
all the other people that we talk about. We just signed him. Like he still got 3 years left on his deal.
Right. Right.
That'd be way
Oh,
harder than
it was
moving
the
him.
second. It was a second round pick.
Okay, yeah.
Right. Cam and Fournier bundle to Mavs for Brunson.
Hey, whatever it takes. If that's what it takes, that's what it takes. I'll do
Now,
it.
remember, if you do that, you still have your cap. You still have 30 million in cap space. I just don't see looking at the free like who would be out there. I would prefer to use the money on Brunson and trade for a star because there
Yeah.
isn't a star in front in free agency unless you're gonna you're not getting Harden
Zach Levine.
or
I don't
that
think we
that
getting
would be
Levine
great.
though. That would
That
be
would be
great, but I
great.
don't think we're getting Levine
That
though.
would be great.
I
Yeah.
think Charlotte offered the Bridges kid, I think 6.7 qualifying offer. And I think he turned it down. So I mean, I don't know if he could match that.
Bridges,
He's restricted.
yeah, he's restricted.
Restricted. Okay.
So they can match it
If we go after him, it might be for no reason.
yeah. But
And
let's go ahead.
I was
No,
about to say,
finish.
and they can make it so like they can like prolong the process, so we might lose out on other people. That's why I hate like going after restricted free agents
Right. Because
because the
it ties
process
it
can
up.
be long, and you can miss out on somebody just because you have money tied up.
Right.
Right.
I
Because the
get you. I
team,
get you.
because the team that they're on, they don't have to. They have like I forgot how long they had, but they don't have to report right away.
Right. So that's why, like Anthony Simons is a restricted free agent. Colin
Right.
Sexton is a restricted free agent. So while you give them an offer, I think they have 48 hours or something like. But things happen fast in free
Yeah.
agency. So now your money is tied up waiting to hear back from them. Right. I don't think these free agents, Bradley Beal, Zach Levine, DeAndre Ayton restricted, Miles Bridges also restricted,
Hmm.
James Harden. Those are the top 5 free agents. Brunson, they're listed at 6. I'm on sportsnot.com. Sexton 7, Anthony Simons, Nurkic out of Portland, Bagley. It's not a great I think that if the Knicks are going to get a star, they're going to have to trade for one.
Yep. It's not gonna be from free agents. We're gonna have to
I
trade for one.
think we're going to have to trade for him for sure. Um, But let's talk about our own free agent in Mitchell Robinson. Now, prior to the draft, I heard that the Knicks were preparing an offer for Mitch. I haven't heard anything since then. They didn't draft a center, which makes me think that that might be true. I
Hmm.
think the best course of action would be to sign whoever else you're going to sign because you can go over the cap to sign Mitchell Robinson, right? So just kind of wait. Oh, somebody said congrats to Jericho. I'm not sure what that's about. Um, you already know where I'm at on Mitch. I'm not depressed that they're bringing him back, but I'm not ecstatic.
Right.
And I love what he does. I like what he does defensively. I just think we need a little, especially if we bringing in Brunson, especially if you bringing in, like, we need some room. If you're bringing in DeJounte, who can't really not a a good 3-point shooter. We need some space. We need some space. And if you are gonna sign Mitch, then I'm sorry. Oh, now Sims got a standard contract. And I was just about to say, I was just about to say, if you're gonna sign Mitch, then you need to back him up with a stretch five and not Sims. And here we see right here, SB Gorilla, appreciate you. Sims' contract is moving from a two-way to a standard
Yep,
contract.
I heard that too.
Well, yeah, I already told you guys my thoughts on Mitch. I think he's replaceable. I mean, but like you, I'm not mad if we resign him either, and we can go over the cap. So I wouldn't be mad at the money regardless of what it is. But yeah, to me, I think we need more offensive center. To me, you don't got to be a lights out shooter or somebody that shoot threes, but I would like at least somebody could touch around the basket and can shoot free throws and stuff.
Yes, exactly. Because RJ, Randle, Mitch, in my opinion, is just not a good fit. Those three guys. I mean, when you look at how the NBA is played, you need shooters. You need a bona fide star. You need shooters. You need defenders. You need obviously a point guard. Hopefully we'll take care of that. But I just don't like the fit of Randall, Mitch, and Randall. I just don't. So we will see. Maybe Randall gets traded. But who's out there?
You talk about a team looking for him?
Yeah. I mean, if you trade Randall, who are you trading him? Who are you trading him for?
Yeah, that could be anything. To be honest, that could be just to shed his salary and you get somebody with an existing contract. That could be anything. More picks. That could be anything.
Dallas gonna take Rose. Yeah, well, that
Hmm.
would um
What they want Rose for that contract though. That's the only thing about trading Rose. Like the contract that we gave him, everybody talk about Brunson not worth 25. Like Rose is making 14.
hmm
Like, that's a nice contract for him.
Everything was
Luck,
friendly, to trade.
yeah. Luck Charm 22. What I don't understand is why everyone is talking about moving Cam when he is the only true small forward we have on the team. Yeah, he definitely is. In terms of what a traditional small forward is, in terms of being 6'8", the length, and the skill level. But then we've talked about this. I can't tell you how many times, on this channel, that the knock on Cam is that he's a very talented guy that may not reach his ceiling because he's just not very assertive. He's not one of them guys that's gonna go out and get it.
Right.
And I'm not I don't I'm not saying anything bad about him. I'm not saying he doesn't play hard. I'm not saying he doesn't want it. That's just, there's some guys that's like that. So if you have an opportunity, if he still has value, for example, you have an opportunity to get Donovan Mitchell. You have an opportunity to do a sign and trade for I don't know who it is. I think you have to do it. But if when you do it, I think you're right. Who you playing that small forward? Now you got RJ playing small forward. Grimes is 6'4". I don't think he can do it. You
Right.
know? Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, now somebody said, now has anybody heard this? SGA is available as well.
Well,
I think he's the highest paid point guard in the league right now.
He's already making, I think this would be the first year of his extension coming up.
right.
Yeah, I think it's like 34, so 34.7 or something like that.
Right.
So I'm not sure, but I think that's what I saw.
He didn't really get a chance with us, but he's gotten a chance in this league. This is his
Right.
fourth year, you know?
Right. His contract is coming up too. So
Right.
I mean, we can do the wait and see game with Cam, but or do we just trade him now because he's a commodity?
Right. Because remember, he's going to be restricted.
Right.
So the Knicks next summer, they have to sign Cam, they have to sign RJ.
Look, to me, if he don't pan out by All-Star break, I think he's gone. I think you might just trade him for like 2 second-round picks.
Hey, yo, Ron.
Ron is like, I don't care who's available. Does he play defense?
Ron.
Ah,
Ah, man, that's funny.
See, Ron got that cap money, so he don't care. He indulging his friends, so you know what I mean. He willing to pay that money. I hear you, Ron. Go get him.
Do you ever have a player that you can look at this player and you know they're good, but they just don't do anything for you? Like when you see them, you be like, wow, this is a really talented guy, but the excitement about him is not there. That's how I feel about SGA. He's
Right.
a
I
talented
think
guy. I
I
can't take
think
anything from him, but when it just doesn't move me. I'm just not like
Right.
excited.
Exactly.
Like SGA is available for real.
Exactly. I'm not
I
that
think
high
I
on him
think it's
either.
the
I don't know.
fit. I
But he's
think it's the
definitely,
fit and the coach.
but
Because
he's definitely
if you
talented.
watch no, because if you watch Andrew Wiggins, right?
Building blocks.
He he never panned out. Right?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
If you watch Wiggins, he never panned out in Minnesota. But
Hmm.
when he got to Golden State in a particular offense, he flourished and he shined. So
Hmm.
I think it's all about fit and the coach. So maybe it's not working out in OKC for him. I mean, the way he was putting up big numbers, he was getting getting his money, getting his buckets, but it wasn't producing till we win. So I guess even though you get the money, sometimes you still want to win.
Right.
And probably OKC is not a good fit for him now. And he's tired of losing, so
Right.
he made himself available. But that
And
contract that he has is just enormous. But
I mean,
unless OKC want to take back some of their picks that they gave us, we willing, we'll do it.
but they're
Right.
young. They may want young players as well to fit their timeline. And SGA is young too. But
Yep.
they have Giddy playing that could play in the backcourt. They remember they
Trey
drafted Jalen,
Man,
right? They drafted Jalen Williams 12. I thought that was pretty high.
Hmm.
Um, as well. Maybe they feeling like, we can get off of this contract and just rock with Giddy and Jay Williams and not have to pay him $30 million. We're not going to be good anytime soon,
Right.
you
yeah,
know?
that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah. So are you high on SGA? So Murray, Brunson, SGA, how would you rank them for you? What's your personal point guard big board?
Wow.
Hit them likes, ladies and gentlemen. While we're
uh,
pondering this question, I appreciate you. We got
SGA.
102,
my
44 likes.
well, my only gripe is SGA versus Brunson because they're completely two different players. For what we need, I'll take Brunson. So I'll go Murray, Brunson, SGA. But I'm not mad at any of them.
Okay.
We said Murray Brunson, SGA.
Yep. You got somebody who's L Servi or Servi. Hope I said it right. Agrees with you. Bodega Wi-Fi, appreciate you. SGA, Murray, then Brunson. SGA over Murray. Wow.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay.
Hmm. But you know what? I think I might have to roll with SGA, Murray Brunson.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
SGA, Murray, Brunson. Uh Murray first. Listen, SGA
Exactly.
puts up those but see, I don't know if SGA is a true he plays the point. I don't know if he's a true point guard. I'm gonna say Murray, Brunson, SGA, but it's close. I mean,
Right.
SGA, he can drop 30.
Yes, quick.
Yeah,
But is
yeah,
he doing anything else? That's
right.
the
He
question.
plays defense.
Yeah.
Plays defense. He got a long wingspan.
Who's
That's why
that?
you see SGA.
Right.
That's why you see I kind of put him slightly over Murray.
I bet I see a baller. Great name. Um, for the Knicks, SGA, Brunson, and Murray. Murray is last.
Hmm.
I
Wow.
mean, he was just a first time All Star. You know, he's been in the league how many years now? Three, four
Yeah.
years?
Yeah. He
Yeah.
came up slow.
Yeah.
He definitely came up slow.
So
And he
I
took
can
a
see why
he was
people
hurt for
put
a whole year
Murray
too.
last too.
This this guy is a pterodactyl. You seen this? You seen how long long he is?
Right.
Um, I just like he could defend that one position. He can work out of the pick and roll. He can get in the lane. I like Murray.
Yeah, he's
I,
my
I
number one.
yeah, I really like Murray. Um, Leon opening up minutes for Cam. I don't think the Knicks are not trading anybody to open up minutes for Cam. I think Cam has to come into camp and he
Right.
gonna have
Oh,
to get
gotta
after
prove
it.
himself. I mean,
But listen,
exactly.
Burks is already gone, so already that's minutes for somebody,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
If
I,
Burks is
I
gone,
I
that's
said
minute.
I said it yesterday too. I said Tom Thibodeau's gonna get rid of his. They're gonna get rid of Tom Thibodeau's toy. I
Right.
said that. Said that. I didn't know it was gonna be Detroit. I thought it was gonna be Boston.
I said
You
this
know,
last
but
night. As long as Burks is not my starting point guard, I'm good. Whoever it
but
is, I know it's going to be
well,
better
you
than
don't
that.
have to worry about the on-ball pressure anymore from Tom Thibodeau.
I know, right? We'll have to get the on ball pressure from somewhere else. Salute to Sim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah, but I mean, so now without they would have to move Fournier to clear up even more space because I still think it's a log jam, right? You got Cam, you got RJ, you got Grimes. Maybe not for that two
I mean,
position.
that's the young
Fournier,
nucleus right there.
I mean, Fournier is still
It's only
there.
Fournier exactly. It's only Fournier and Rose
Right,
basically.
right. So you got Fournier and RJ if they still continue to start. Then you got Cam can play behind RJ and Grimes could play behind um Fournier.
Right.
If something else doesn't if something else.
And we still have
Right.
IQ and Rose.
IQ
And we
and
still
Rose,
have
right.
IQ in role. And IQ can play either
Hmm.
IQ can play either
Yeah, all
position.
four
And
on
so can Rose.
right.
Say that again.
And so can Rose. Remember, they used to be in the game at the same time.
Hmm.
And they used to, flip flop, taking care of the ball.
Cam has to start if they sign. You think Cam would start? I mean, listen, if Cam comes into training camp and he beats out
Nah.
Fournier, he'll start.
Nope.
You
Nope.
don't believe that?
No way. We always tell like everybody keep talking about how bad we shoot. You're gonna take Fournier out, who is our best shooter, and bring in Cam and have Fournier coming off the bench. No,
Nah, that don't
that's not
make
gonna happen. And
sense.
Tibbs is not gonna do that.
That's true. Because with Mitch, I'll say it again, and Randle and RJ, you need shooting out there.
Right. That's not gonna
Mm-hmm.
happen.
Mm-hmm.
And don't get me wrong, I think Cam is more talented than Evan Fournier, but that's
Right,
not going to happen though.
right. But
Not next
but
year.
right. But there's a difference between being more talented and accessing that talent so that
Exactly.
it's on display and you're using it. Wow. Anything else about free agency you guys want to talk about? Anybody in the chat have any questions for the panel? Anything you want us to talk about?
I think if we end up pulling this off, if we can get Brunson and somebody else. I'm not gonna say Murray, but if we can get some sign Brunson and actually acquire somebody through a trade, then we have no choice but to say that this is a successful offseason for the Knicks, especially since the off seasons that we've been having
Right.
has to be successful. Like it'll have to be a good move if we did that.
And you know what, too, Drill? I have a lot of receipts for people. You don't even know. I'm just praying Leon do something, man. Yo, he got us anticipating on this. It's like we can't just wait until Thursday at 6 p.m. start. Let's sign this person like quick.
Mm-hmm. Bodega Wi-Fi wants to know what I think about acquiring T.J. Warren. I'll ask you guys the same. I like
Okay.
T.J. Warren before he got injured. I really liked him.
Hmm.
Um, I think he's been out. I know he was out all of last season,
Hmm.
and I think part of the season before. Um, you know how I feel about injured guys. I would pass on them unless you're getting them on the cheap. But then think about, first of all, let me just say this: if T.J. Warren is healthy, he's beating out one of our wings. I mean, I just think before he went down, he was pretty good. Um,
Okay.
but with the injury history,
Yeah.
I just wouldn't do it.
Yeah, that's it for me.
Yep.
Like it's just because of the injury, not because if he's healthy, he's kind of perfect for us, to be honest, especially for Tibbs and for what he like to do for the position. But yeah, that like I think I wouldn't want him just because of the injury. Like he didn't play at all last season, so
Hmm.
nah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree too. The injuries will kill it for me. So
yeah,
I'm good. I'm good on TJ.
yeah. Paris Duggar, I do think our young players is going to get better. Remember, even if the Knicks execute a trade, we got 8 players, if you include Mitchell Robinson, under the age of 25. You're not
Right,
trading all of them. So you're still going to have homegrown talent on this roster. And I think they will get better. You're not going to be able to sign all 8 of them anyway.
right,
When their
Uh,
contracts come up, you're not going to be able to sign all 8 of them. So trade some, keep some. I
and
think
he did,
that's how it's
and
going to go.
yeah, and Leon did say they're still concentrating on the development of the kids. I know that's not the exact words, but that's one of their main focus too is to keep developing the youths. So we're
Right.
not gonna just trade them just like that.
We're not going to trade every single one. Like there will be
Right.
young players, but on the roster. But don't be surprised, Nick family. I know how you feel about your young guys. Don't be surprised come Thursday if a few of them are no longer on the team.
yep. Especially if we're gonna get married, they're gonna ask for somebody back. It's not gonna just be draft picks. It might be one
Right.
or two players, as it should be.
I mean,
Right.
that's what they said though. They wanted 3 first rounds. They didn't say about no players, but anything can happen, as you said, right?
Right.
So if they need a player, go ahead, take them.
Go ahead, take them. Pick one, any one of them. Take them if we're gonna get married.
Listen, you got to give to
Right?
get. So,
Facts.
for those of us who want, I don't know, Donovan Mitchell, for those of us who want, I don't know who the Knicks may be trading for, you got to give to get. DeJounte Murray, San Antonio is not going to just hand them to us.
Right.
Right?
Or anybody else. Like I know that report came out with Atlanta and what they wanted. That does not mean that that was true. It could have been more than that.
Right.
Like the deal
No, I
isn't
think
done.
John Collins was in that. It was in that trade too
Right. But I'm talking about
with
like the amount of
Deshante.
picks and stuff. None of that stuff could be, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that it's not accurate and like it's like no smoke, but that doesn't mean
Right,
that
right,
stuff
right.
is
Gotcha.
accurate. Like they could want a
Gotcha.
lot more than that at the end of the day because they didn't make
Right.
the deal.
Right.
True.
Um, Wojnarowski, shout out to James Earl Moans. These names are good. Appreciate you. Adrian Wojnarowski said the Mavs will offer 5 years to Brunson.
Well, yeah.
Listen, It's going to be up to Brunson whether he wants to sign with the Knicks,
Yep.
right? The Mavs can offer him more money. The Mavs can offer him an extra year. If he comes to the Knicks, it's because he wants the smoke, because he's gonna get plenty of it. Because he wants to, man his own team.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so no doubt about it. The Mavs are gonna do what they can to try to keep him, but he's an unrestricted free agent. And you'll say, why would he want to leave a championship contending team? Maybe he wants to be the starting point guard on his own team.
Hmm.
Not sure. You
If he
know?
could do that and get paid, and all of the connections that we have, like I don't know if people know, but we have a lot of connections to Jalen Brunson, and it's not just his dad.
All right. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Like his agent is Leon Rose's son, so that alone to me seemed like it should be conflict of interest. But yeah, we got it. We get away with stuff like that. So it's
Right.
like the writing is on the wall to get him. It's just I think just depends on the number. But I think he's
Right.
I don't want to just say he's ours because it's not. This has happened to us all the time. But I think I think he's coming.
Right. And I will say this. If you have all that connections, you should at least know which way he's leaning
Right.
at this point.
Right.
Right?
Like your son
I
is his agent.
right.
You hired his father. If you don't know where he's going, like you don't have an
Right.
inkling of which way he's swaying,
Right.
like that
Do you
doesn't
have a
make any
chance?
sense. Right.
Right. Do you have a chance, and how much it's going to take to sign him? You should at least
Right.
have that.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if we get a tampering charge, it is warranted, but it is what it is.
Yeah, we got picks for them.
Like we have to tamper in order to get our point guard. It is what it is, man. We haven't had a point guard in forever.
Yeah. I mean, the Knicks picked up 3 first rounders in that trade with OKC for our 11th pick. We might have to use one of those in the tampering. you
Hmm.
know,
It can go.
you know.
They might have did it on purpose just for that.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Bergen, I agree. I really think this. I don't think we're loading up like this to go after Brunson. I just don't.
It's Brunson and somebody else.
Yeah, I think it's Brunson and somebody else. I just don't see it. So I
Be-
agree with you,
because I
Kevin.
don't think we're done. I think
Right,
it's going to be another trade before Thursday.
right.
I don't know
Who else
who,
is
but it's
left?
going to be
Well, there's
somebody.
Randle, Fournier. It could be anybody.
It could be anybody but RJ.
Right, because the trades don't remember the trades can happen. They don't. We don't have to wait for Thursday free agency for trades.
Hmm.
Right, the trades can happen now.
Yep. So I
Um,
think could be gone in the next 2 days, except for RJ. I don't think RJ is going anywhere
right,
because I don't think the deal would be that big. Like if RJ leaves, that means it's for like a big fish, bigger than Murray.
right,
Somebody like Mitchell.
right, right,
That's the only way I think RJ leaves.
right,
So I don't think that's happening.
right. Um, Ajay from Twitter. This is from Twitter, not from him or her. I think it's him. Leon Rose moving heaven and earth to get rid of the players he signed last summer and in turn to give nutty money to his son's client. What a horrendous GM. He wanted to know what's our
Yeah,
thoughts.
I don't. I think I disagree with that.
Yeah. Listen, front offices make mistakes all the time.
Hmm.
You have to get off of it, and if you can, and in this case we had to attach assets, at least in Kemba to get off of it. It happens all the time, you
And
know.
plus,
Correcting his mistakes.
how big were the mistakes if they were able to move those contracts the very next season?
Right.
So when you're talking about a mistake, it really wasn't a mistake. Like they kind of knew what they were doing when it came to that because they were able to move them. It was only a mistake if they weren't able to move those contracts. Like if they signed Noel and Burks, right? They moved Noel and he hardly played last year, and he still
Right.
got 2 years on his deal. So when you say it's a mistake, like is levels to the mistakes, I guess.
Right. Right. And remember, Boston signed Kyrie. It didn't work out. Boston signed Kimba. Didn't work out. It
Right.
happens. It happens. Knicks will be 2026 NBA champs. No, I think Leon Rone has done a terrible job as president. He came into a near perfect situation and screwed it up. I mean, I think the jury is still out. I mean, near perfect in terms of having assets and cap space because there's nothing about the Knicks
Yeah, I was
near
about to say,
perfect.
what
But I
was
guess he's
real
talking
perfect
about
about our situation?
I guess he's talking about when he came in at that time we had I think 58 million in cap space. We had young players and as but listen, the young players are only assets if teams want them. The young players
Right.
are only assets if another team is looking at them as somebody that can help their team. I don't know how true it is, but Detroit, when we was trying to get Ivy, they didn't value our young players, or maybe they valued Ivy more.
Right. To me, I think they just valued Ivy more
Okay,
because he matches perfect with their number one pick from last year.
right. Paris Duggan said we sleeping on Harden. Harden is unrestricted. But do you want Harden?
You tried to come here?
Yeah,
He doesn't fit our timeline.
No, I wouldn't
To
say. I
me.
wouldn't say. I wouldn't say. I
Uh-uh.
wouldn't even say that he would want to come here.
he
That
said
ring.
Brunson is here. Did we do a sign and trade? Can somebody look that up? Oh, this is becoming like a free agent,
This is the
a
best
free
show
agent
ever.
special right here.
Hold
Break it.
on. Let me go to my Twitters, man. Let me stroll up. Hold on.
Breaking news. Did they do a sign and trade? What?
Hold on. It must be
No.
a trade because I'm strolling and it seems like it's
Yeah,
taking forever to get to it.
I'm not seeing it. So Pudge Nice, you saying so Pudge Nice says breaking news. Brunson is here. If he's here, it had to be a sign and trade. That means the Knicks is clearing up
Hold
money.
on.
I
They
don't see it.
closed. They closed in on it. They closing in on the deal.
They're closing in on the deal. Okay.
Did Woj say this? Where's Woj?
I don't. It's not on Woj page.
If Woj ain't say it, if Shams ain't say it, I don't believe nothing. It got to be Woj or Shams.
Well, they
But it
said
could
they
be true.
closing in.
I don't know. I don't see anything. Pudge might got the scoop. I don't know. If
Pudge
he,
Nice said not yet.
oh, okay.
Yeah, they closing in on the deal. It ain't happened yet. They closing
Right.
in on the deal, but it ain't
But there
happened
you
yet.
go. If they're gonna do it, who's left for a sign and trade though? It has to be either Fournier or Randall. Who's left?
They can take.
Burks is gone. Noel is gone. Kimber is gone.
I'm fine with either, Steph. I'm fine with either. We can talk about
Rose.
that too. I'm fine
Right.
with either. Either can go.
Yeah, wow. And that means
Yeah.
that 30 million in cap space is now open for somebody else. But who in free agency? I just don't see. Is it Beal? Is it Harden?
Is
Is
it
it
Zach?
is it Zach?
Brunson and Zach, man, listen.
Oh.
I might have to text you like around 3 o'clock in the morning. You could be because we got to get on for that.
Right, 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 right.
If we find out we got Brunson and Zach at the same time,
Yeah, no doubt about it. Yeah, we might have to do an emergency.
yeah, something got to happen.
It's a lot of emergency lives at the same time going on. We talking.
Right. But we'll see, man. Like I'm finally excited. Like, don't get me wrong, I get excited every off season,
I do as well.
usually it's just I wouldn't say just talks,
Speculation
but
sometimes.
just all
Yeah.
speculation and rumors and stuff, all the way up into you know the 11th hour, and it just falls apart. This time, I
We
don't
like
think it is because it's not like we going after the people that you know, people that we call superstars.
Right.
Brunson isn't a superstar. He's not LeBron James. He's not what other super? He's not Kawhi. He's not any other big fish that we missed out on. He's a
Right.
level lower than that, and for us to get him, it's a pretty good get. It's a good start.
Right. Yeah,
It's
it's
a good
definitely
look.
a good start. Um, may go after Towns. Town. They just made the playoffs. I don't think Towns is going anywhere unless he's requesting a trade.
Nah, see, and then I don't think that'll happen anyway because of the Tibbs and Towns relationship. I really don't
Right.
see that.
Right.
I'd be shocked. And if it happens, cool, because if if we get
Y-
Towns, we get Towns, but I don't see it happening.
Drill, I thought about that when I said the whole miserable playing in that situation, but then I thought about the playoffs and how they went there with Anthony Edwards and all that. So I wouldn't
Right,
think Towns will
right,
want to leave Minnesota.
right. They're not he's not miserable. He shouldn't
Yeah.
be not playing with Anthony Edwards.
And they just made the playoffs after I don't know how many
Mm-hmm.
years of not being in the playoffs.
Yep. So
Mm-hmm.
nah, he's
James
not one
Earl,
of them.
right? James Earl moans. Mavericks expect Jalen Brunson will sign with the New York Knicks in free agency. Callie Kaplan, the Dallas Morning News, 2 minutes ago.
Hmm.
And I think that's why, now Dallas has to make um, a choice. Do we let him go for nothing or do we execute a sign and trade to get something back? But that's a veteran team. I'm not sure if they would, maybe Fournier. That's maybe,
If
maybe
that's the
they,
case, maybe it's Randall
you
or
think Rand
Fournier.
the
It
only
could be
thing
either
about
one.
Randall there is that they stretch things out so that the key is open. Randall is a clogger, but
He's a clogger, but
maybe
remember the past couple years, the way he's been playing, he's been shooting the ball from the outside a lot. So I don't think he's a clogger nearly as much as he used to be.
hmm
Like to me now, he kind of shoots from the outside too much.
right,
But I guess it depends on the coach and the offense. Like it's not like they gonna have Tibbs over there, and
right,
he has
right,
Luca. So you
I
know,
don't think if Randall get traded today, it will be. I mean, traded to Dallas will be a bad situation for him. You know what I mean? Trust me, he'll be the second go-to guy.
right.
well,
And I think he'll probably fit probably even much better over there if that's the case.
I think he
Right.
would fit better over there simply because he have Luca. Like we always talk about how Randall is not a one and he can't handle the pressure and stuff. If he
He
go
wouldn't
over there,
have
he can't,
to.
he doesn't have to.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to handle the ball at all, except for when he actually gets it and wants to score with it.
Right.
And
Building
that's what I'm
blocks.
saying. He could. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
I just want to say building blocks. They can give him 5 years, but will he accept it? He's unrestricted, so it would be up to him whether or not he wants that.
Right.
Dallas already got Christian Wood, but Christian Wood can play like a
Oh
stretch five.
yes. Oh yes.
You know,
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, he's not a power forward still.
No, but playing out west, he's a perfect five too out there. Like him and Randall can play together
yeah, I think
easily.
so.
He played a lot of the five last year for Houston.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely think he can.
Matter of fact, that's who I would actually start if they had Randall and him.
Right.
I would easily start them at the four and the five with Luca at the point. What they still have Dinwiddie and they still have Tim Hardaway Jr. So they got a
Yeah,
squad, and plus
yeah,
they got
yeah.
The dude that you mentioned before,
hmm
Finney Smith.
Finney
Mm-hmm.
Smith. Yeah,
Right. So yeah, they have a nice little squad if they had Randall. That's a nice starting five.
Mm-hmm. And he could always, do his dribble and pass it out, and Luca could shoot. So it'll be a win-win situation for the Knicks and Dallas
Right.
if
but
that's the trade.
And if
are we a
Fournier goes there, he fits right in with them too.
better team? Like, cause I think you bringing in Brunson, you taking away a 2010 five guy.
Hmm.
Where are we getting that from?
Yeah. See, I, I don't think of it that way. I don't think any one player is going to match with Randall. I think it's just going to be the way that we play, and that's up to Tibbs, especially on offense. Like you're not going to be able to replace Randall with just one person, especially if
No,
everybody.
no.
It's going
Well,
to
I
be Obi.
But
mean,
it's not even.
listen.
Like
hmm
Obi's
They
not going
want
to
Obi
replace Randall
they
like that.
want Obi to shine. They want Obi. They say the ball moves better. It flows better with Obi in the lineup. So give the fans what they want. Let's see what happens. They want to get rid of Randle so bad. Put Obi in the lineup. Let's see him get his 20 and 10.
Right. But this is the thing. It's not even about it's not even about his stats. It's not even about like who could, this person can average 5 more points, this person can average 10. It's about the gravity that he has on the team. The double teams, whether you feel he's double teamed because they respect him or whether you feel he's being double teamed because they know he's going to turn it over. Like I heard somebody say that. Whatever. Because of the gravity that he draws so much attention, that opens things up for other players. You
Mm-hmm.
know, who has that gravity on the team? So it's not just about the
Oh,
stats, it's about um, game planning. You got a game plan for Randle. Who are you game planning for if you trade him? Now you can load up on Brunson. Now you can load up on RJ. So I'm not saying don't trade him. I'm saying if you're going to trade him, bring back something significant. Um, so for me, preferably I would sign Brunson outright and just send Randle in another trade for a superstar than I would Randle for Brunson. I think that's just, one step forward, one step back. I'm not sure how much better we are with that as
Okay,
opposed to signing him and trading Randle for someone else.
I agree with that.
We'll see. And I think, and I could be in the minority here, if we're not able to trade Randle, if we're not looking to trade Randle, I think Brunson makes Randle better.
Yeah,
Because I don't think he's going to be handling the ball as much.
I think Brunson will make everybody better on this team. Like I really do. I think with his scoring ability and his passing and just his wherewithal when it comes to the game of basketball, I think he can play. Like I think he will make everybody better on this team. We'll be a better team. Period. Like it's not like we're going to be a championship contender with him with the same
Right,
exact team, but yeah, he
right.
will make everybody better. Like the offense will flow smoothly. I hope. Um, yeah, I like him. I think it's a good move.
What do y'all think about that?
See, we might not whether it's true or not almost don't matter because in 2 years we would have to have given his contract already.
Right. Oh, that did not mean to highlight
Oh
that.
snap! Hey, yo, see,
I was
that's
trying
how
to
you know
block
you
him.
made it though, Steph, because we got spam now. That's
Oh,
what's up.
is that what that is?
Yeah, man. When you get spam, that's when you know that you
You making it. All right.
yep, you're making
Okay.
it. Your stream is doing some numbers. That's what's up.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate the love. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification button so you'll be notified anytime, we go live to talk Knicks, anytime I drop a video as well. So if you haven't already, hit the subscribe to the channel.
support the queen.
Word.
Yeah. Steph, I heard Randall trade cheaper after July 8th. I think Fournier is going before Randall.
I don't know about the dates. Like I'm bad when it comes to dates and stuff. He could be right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We'll definitely
Anything
figure it
else?
out.
Yeah. Anything else? Anything else from the chat? Any questions for us?
I think after that move, I think we good. We got to be
Yeah.
one of the few shows that actually broke it in real time.
Yeah. 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 The
Think of it that
the
way.
hand out some wrenches. Yeah, I got to figure out how to do that.
Yeah. So they could get rid of them. You don't even
Right.
have
The
to worry about
mods.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know who be in the chat all the time.
Yes. Yes. I will. I will. I will get the
Oh yeah,
phone.
that'll be dope too.
Yeah. Get the phone lines up. Detroit is going to flip Burks. I didn't have a problem with Burks. The problem I had was that he was being played out of position.
Right. I actually think they
Um,
should keep him.
that was the issue I had with Burks. He was being played out of position. If you're trying to win, in that fourth quarter, he came up big for us in that playoff season a few times.
Right. I only had problems with Burks with how he was used.
Right.
This is more of a Tom Thibodeau thing with me and him. Had
Right.
nothing to do with Burks.
I mean, this is going to be the issue too. I mean, I'm a Tibbs supporter, but it doesn't mean I'm not critical of
Hmm.
him.
Right.
And I think that the two things for me, I mean, I could point to a few, but the two, number one, not holding Randle accountable.
Yep,
And
that was
then
my
number
number one.
yeah, and number
Too.
two, I think our offense could have been a bit more creative.
Hmm.
I think, and I'm not saying that's everything, but those were the two
Main
um
ones.
main ones for me. So let's see what he does when you bring in Brunson, because we talked about this on the Queen's Court as well, over on Nothing But Knicks. For those who don't know, I have a show over there as well, Monday nights, 8 o'clock. You can't leave it up to Brunson or Murray or whoever um, you bring in, that they have to be the one to tell Randle, I'm handling the ball. Like, I don't think that's something that they should have to negotiate. I
Right.
think the coaching staff should do that. You know, this is who, you just go up the court and get into your spot. We got Brunson here now, we got Murray here now, whoever we got here, they're gonna take care of it. I don't think they should have to negotiate that.
If we get Brunson or Murray or any top point, well, not top, but any point guard like that, that
Mhm.
caliber, if that is still a question going forward, then we have a serious problem.
Right.
That should not be a question going forward when it comes to um, Randall's usage and his ball handling and what he needs to do to get the team involved and stuff like that. That has to go away.
Correct. You can't bring in a point guard and still have this issue.
Yep,
Like,
not a
that's
real
one of the
point guard.
reasons we
No.
bring in a point guard, so that
Right,
Randle can stop the facilitating.
right.
Right.
Though I will say, as the season went on, him dominating the ball from a facilitation standpoint kind of went down, because RJ was doing some facilitating as well. But still, I want to see him in a traditional point guard role. Now, you can argue that takes away his strengths, because having a power forward that can handle the ball and bring the ball up the court, you could say that gives you an edge. Um, it's something they have to game plan for, and just having him run down court and get into the power forward spot, wherever that is for him, given our offense, makes it easier for him to be guarded. But I think the positives outweigh the negatives, because the decision making and the turnovers and things of that sort, it's just too much.
I agree.
Yeah. Yes, our RC creative, but we created that that Randall. I mean, I think at the time, started with Fizdale. Tibbs came in, they saw he had ball handling capabilities. They were trying to take advantage of it. But as time went on, I
Just
don't
get
know.
out the hand.
Yeah, I think so. um, at the
I
next draft party, we 3-on-3. If we're gonna do 3-on-3, I'll be ready, because you don't have to cover as much ground at 3-on-3 as you do playing 1-on-1.
was about to say I'll be stuck in the corner like they do Deuce. As soon as I get in the game, I'm gonna just go right to the baseline. Just
This
say,
is
"Hit me
where
when
I'm
you."
at.
Yep, this
Right.
is where I'm at. Hit me if you got me. Other
I'll
than that,
be the
I'm doing
ref.
nothing.
I'll be the referee.
But listen, things change all the time. RC Creative, we brought him and said, you're the man, and ran the offense through him, and now we don't want it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Now we
that's how
don't
it
want
works.
it because it didn't work.
Right.
You
Soon as
know?
something don't work, change it. It's
Yeah.
not, we can't just keep doing the same thing. Him being our primary ball handler does not work. He's not even a good point forward, but I don't even want a point forward. I want a point guard.
Right.
You let Randall do his dirty work down on the block. That's where he flourishes at, on the block. Be a bully,
Yeah.
and I always say it, pass the ball at the right time. You know what I mean? Make the correct pass,
Let me ask,
everything.
right. Let me ask this question.
Okay.
We get Brunson, and let me just preface this by saying this is a step by step build, right? How much better are we in the Eastern Conference?
Shoot, I said it earlier. Probably like a ninth or eighth. That's where I'm at.
Hold on, I got more news. Chris Haynes, senior NBA insider for Yahoo Sports, says that the Knicks on Thursday are expected to present Jalen Brunson with a 4-year offer in the vicinity of 110 million.
Okay.
See? Yeah, I did say 110. Hmm.
4 years,
That's about.
110 million, give or
I
take.
think
I
that's
think.
about 27.
Okay. All right.
Give or
Let's
take. It
see.
all depends on the years. Like it could be less some years, it could be more some years.
Right, right.
Depends on how
But
they
on
do it.
average, the total contract,
Right. One year could be 30. The other year could be 22. It just all depends on
mhm,
how they
mhm,
work it out.
Right.
mhm.
I'm cool with that.
I'm cool with that as well. If that's the only move we make, we finished 11th. I agree. We might be 8 or 9. I don't think listen, Brunson, as much as I like him and what he's going to do for our team, he's not Donovan Mitchell. He's not, somebody that you can give the ball to and say go get me a bucket, right?
Facts.
So that would be the first step. We would still need to make more moves, whether that's this season or whether that's next season. In my opinion, the Eastern Conference is stacked. Now, Charlotte finished 10th, I think. I want to. I think Charlotte was the last playoff team.
I think so.
Let me check that. And
I think they were.
yes,
What was the question?
with the
Charlotte.
Knicks, because I'm looking at the teams that were in the play-in 7, 8,
Oh,
9, and 10,
Hmm.
and I want to know if
yeah.
we signed Brunson, would we knock out any one of these teams? So Brooklyn was seventh, Atlanta was eighth, Cleveland was ninth, and I believe Cleveland was ninth only because of the late injuries they had to Jared Allen and I believe somebody else. And Charlotte was 10th. We finished 6 games below Charlotte.
Everybody healthy with Jalen Brunson on this team.
And a healthy Derrick Rose,
Healthy Derrick Rose. Yeah, we're better than that.
we better than
Yeah.
Charlotte.
We definitely better than
Hmm.
Charlotte.
Okay. Okay.
That's if everything go right.
Right.
And plus, everybody want our young guys to play so much. At this point going forward, they should have at least ascended a little bit. So we should be better just because of that than we were last year.
Yeah.
In
I
that
mean,
case, like all the young guys that y'all love so much, it did not improve at all.
right.
They have to be better. All of them do.
Right. Right. If Randle is not traded, I expect him to be better. Do I expect him to be second team all NBA level, Randle? No.
Nah, but he should be
But
better though.
he should be better than he was last season. And then RJ takes the next step, right? If RJ takes the next step, that helps us a lot. You know, if our young guys continue to develop, if Obi is hitting a three at a consistent rate, that changes everything. Now it's not just about playing him, running and gunning. He has to be matched with quickly because that's the only one looking for him, and that's how he plays. A rim runner, what have you. If he can hit the three consistently, he can play in a half court game with anybody.
Right.
Doesn't have to just be with quickly, right? So let's see how our young guys develop, and that'll have a lot to do. I think Charlotte. I mean, it remains to be seen what they do in free agency, Detroit, from what I understand, is going after Miles Bridges.
Mm.
Now, do they but do they have any more cap space? They didn't ate up all of the Knicks contracts. Do they have any cap space to do that?
They'll get it done. Like when it comes to cap space and stuff, I think these GMs get paid a lot of money to make stuff work. They'll get it done.
Yep.
If they really want um, Bridges, they'll get him. But he's a restricted free agent, so they might not get him regardless. But yeah, they'll make enough room for him.
Hmm.
But just like us, like if say we do get Brunson, cool, we sign him. But if we need to free up more cap space to get Murray or somebody else is going. So they'll
Right.
make it work.
I believe when we next week, and we might even do an emergency podcast, I really believe the Knicks are going to sign two players. I strongly
Yep,
believe, yeah, that they're going to sign two players.
me too.
Um,
Or acquire 2 players.
acquire two players.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. Anything else? Um,
Nah, man, it's
that
just
we,
the Bronson sweepstakes.
I think it's going to be a
20,
little more than that,
27,
Staff.
27 and a half mil,
Hmm.
110.
Yeah, I think they're going to do just that, Tim Smith. Appreciate you, sis. All right. Any last words?
Yeah, man. Salute to everybody in the chat. Another great show Tuesday 9 o'clock. You know how we do every week.
That's right.
Um, just like always, thanks for the invite, Stafford. You know how I feel about you, bros. Queen Steph. You know who
Appreciate you,
you
man.
are to the Knicks community. You the queen, and we out.
Appreciate you.
It was a good show.
Yeah,
Yeah, Queen,
definitely.
you already know. Give thanks, love, more blessings and love to you. Give thanks for the platform. Shout out to the chat. Um, Thursday is going to be a very interesting afternoon, so everybody brace yourselves. All right, so peace
Maybe
and
we'll, you know what? Maybe if you guys are available, maybe we, oh man,
Tomorrow
I
or
got a Liberty game Thursday.
right,
Maybe
right
we could come
Thursday.
on 9 o'clock Thursday. We'll talk about it and
Yeah,
see
it
if
depends on what time you
yeah,
get in.
just send me a message. You already know.
yeah, that quality jumper. I appreciate you. Quality jumper was at. I met him at the draft party.
Yup, cool
Great
dude.
yeah, very cool dude. Great conversation. Shout out to Kevin Bergen, James Earl Moans, Harlem Girl, Nick Yak, Dewan Bailey, my sis, Paris Duggar, of course, Walter White, Sherwin M was in the house. D Public Enemy #1,
Mm-hmm.
Pudge
Pudge.
Nice,
Yep,
David L. Oh, I hope I didn't miss
I know,
anybody.
right?
RC Creative, appreciate you. Ashley Inc. 1, appreciate you.
Building blocks. I don't know if you
Yeah,
said.
Building Blocks, I didn't say. I appreciate you as well. Ad J,
Yep.
appreciate you. Sever was in here. Appreciate him as well. Rod Tucker. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification button. I do my MBK stuff, but I do my Dope Soul stuff as well. And it's only going to get bigger and better.
Better facts.
No doubt about it. Um, check me out tomorrow. I'm on NBK with Tony Crowe. We co-hosting the crossover. So if you haven't, I'm pretty sure you're subscribed to NBK. You'll get that notification as well. And turn on your notifications for Dope Soul, because if the Knicks do something good, and I believe they will, we're gonna come on Thursday night between 9 and 10. I got a Liberty game. I don't know how I got. My sis invited me to it. She said, "You want to do anything? You got anything planned for Thursday?" I said, "Nah, I don't really. I didn't have free agency on my calendar." So now I'm going to Liberty. I don't know how much I'm gonna watch. I'll be refreshing Twitter and seeing what's going on, and then we may come on that night. So anyway, peace out to everybody. I
Peace and
appreciate
love.
the support. I
Peace,
appreciate
peace.
the love. We out.